Today we're going to be unboxing and reviewing some great products from GameMat.eu.
Spiky bits. Make sure you stay in the trenches by becoming a supporter over on Patreon and also scoring yourself some free miniature swag in the process. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out our site, spikybits.com, for all the hot hobby tutorials, news, rumors on all your favorite hobby topics. And head on over to thelongwar.net. That's the home of the battle reports for exclusive content, early access videos, and more. Become a veteran of the Long War today.
So here they are. This is an amazing Gothic terrain set. Now, I saw this on the interwebs and I was like, alright, I'll buy it. It kind of looks cool, but I haven't had much luck with terrain sets over the internet in the past. Usually it turns out to be crappy material, falls apart, whatever. Insert reason here. I'm sure a lot of you out there have had a similar experience as myself. However, I've had really good luck with everything I've gotten from GameMat.eu. A really great company out of Eastern Europe. Can't say enough good things about these guys. Of course, this is a GameMat.eu mat as well. We're going to showcase another one, a limited edition one, as part of this video as well. So I picked up this stuff. It's a 9-piece set. It goes for $149 US. I think it's 135 euros. Not sure what the exchange rate is right there right now, but I can tell you what, it was $60 shipping. And when it came, I didn't know what it was. I was like, what did I buy? It came in this huge box. It was all like super sealed up. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me see what's in here. I was like, it's not too heavy. I couldn't be that terrain set. And I get it, and I open it up, and I'm like, all right, this is crazy. Each piece was like individually like boxed and like slotted into styrofoam, and there's packing peanuts going everywhere. It's sticking my cats for like days. They're like cleaning themselves out. They're like pooping out styrofoam. Like, I don't even know what's going on. This stuff was so protected. Nothing was damaged whatsoever. We've been using it here in the Beats Lab, recording videos for I guess about a month and a half now. You've probably seen it on some of the Long War videos, and I mean, nothing has gotten damaged. Like nothing. Like it's amazing to me how well it is held up. And I was like, it was so light. So I started unboxing, and there's a couple other people here, and we're just like, yo, check this out. Like this is high quality shit right here, right? So I'm like looking at it, and it is a resin material. It's noticeably lighter than forge rolled. It's not I've held their terrain before. It's not gonna bow, but like some of the forge roll stuff does, some of the forge roll terrain, you can tell, you can hear it there. It has some heft to it, but for the way it sounds and its durability, it's remarkably light. And they also put these little like little fuzzy bottom things right here, fuzzy bottoms, and to help protect your terrain, because not everybody just has mats. Some people have actual game surfaces. You don't want your underneath getting all scratched up. So it's really good stuff. Now it's a 9-piece set. It doesn't look like there's a lot of stuff, and we'll try to do another shot like with it spread out across a 4x6 table. But this is actually a lot of terrain. Now there's a couple different pieces, and some of them are duplicated, yes. But I mean, as far as the cost factor goes, when you start putting out like a piece of terrain right here and another piece of terrain like right next to it, can you really tell that's this same piece of terrain? No, probably not. You know what I mean? So like, that's not that big of a deal. So it's a 9-piece set, $150. I mean, it just doesn't stop there. So I'm like looking through it, and I'm unboxing everything, and I'm just like, okay, all right, what else is in here? And I see these parts, and they have like these little window parts, and I was like, no way. And this was right after they dropped that FAQ for like walls and shit from Games Workshop, and I was like, no way. So like literally they have these little window parts, right? And they go in. They just slot right in. So say you want open windows, cool. Not all of them seal up. Not like you can't put it in this one right here, but you can put it in the other two. So you get 4 of these. So you can effectively almost close off the bottom of a building with these little inserts. And I would imagine in the future they'll sell these separate, like if you wanted more of them. And then they got the big long ones, these Gothic ones, for the big Gothic piece here. And I don't know if you guys can actually tell from the scale here how big this is. Like, this is a big piece of terrain. This would hide a Titan. Like, you just don't get pieces of terrain like this normally just like out of the box, ready to go, already pre-painted. This stuff comes pre-painted, guys. Like, and like I said, it's a top-notch product. Like, I have yet to see any damage on this. Now, I'm not saying if I didn't drop it on the floor, I wouldn't break it. I probably would. But that's besides the point. Don't drop your train on the floor, you won't break it. But as far as normal everyday use goes, you really can't find a better product out there. And I've been buying this shit for like 20 years. And I've never been as satisfied with the product as I am with GameMat.eu's Gothic terrain, by far. Like, I'm so happy with this stuff. Yeah, I can't even tell you. So, like, you can kind of see here, it gives you an idea of, like, exactly how big everything is, and then you got your vehicles, and I mean it's big enough to hide a vehicle. Like that would give you cover, you know, if you're shooting through here or whatever. Like it's big enough to hide a Land Raider. And if you're not playing with those kind of vehicles, it really adds to that whole like Gothic, like bigger than life kind of Gotham feel, you know, like everything is so big and so like ridiculous because mankind was just ridiculous in the far future, right? So it's really neat. So let's cut it right here, and I'm going to show you a bigger picture with the terrain spread out across the table, because this is basically everything you get in a box. Okay, so here is the terrain set all spread out across the tabletop right here. And you can see it takes up a good clip of the space right here, you know, and with a little game mat, tabletop mat, or, you know, any of the companies out there, it really adds to the realism. And then you can get, you know, you can get pre-painted creators and such that are available here in the States to throw on there to give it a little bit more 3D depth. But I feel like, you know, for what you're getting, it covers a lot of space on the tabletop. Maybe just add in a few pieces of trees or something to taste. But, you know, for the most part, I don't think you can go wrong with this. And I really like this little combo that you can do with these right here. You can kind of combo it, you know, because you get two of these and you get two of these. And you can kind of combo it. You can see right over there and that corner, right? And then you got the big pieces kind of opposite each other there. So, and something else I wanted to show you too, like there is plenty of space up in here for your putting your mans. Like, you know, a lot of times you don't have room on the lip, you know, put the guys. Now you won't be able to put the guys on here and have them like shooting out a lot of times, but we kind of know that there's, you know, some FAQs and such out there. You can do it on this big one right here, and then this one over here. You don't have quite as much room up top, but you can kind of go right there or right down here. So this just gives you an idea of exactly what comes in the kit, and I think it's a great value. Personally, pre-painted, delivered to the US for like $200. Like, I bought a lot of terrain in my day, and I've never seen anything of this value, that's for sure. And another product I wanted to show you was one of the game mats they sell. It's a limited edition game mat. It's their Mars mat. It's a little bit different, a little bit more detailed than this one right here, which I think this is Fallout or Quarantine. I forget. I bought this one around the start of the year, and I've been really happy with this. Now, one of the things about these mats that makes them so great, in my opinion, well, we'll get into that in a second. I wanted to show you basically how this stuff comes, because if you never purchased one of these mats before, right, you're kind of probably like, well, you know, is it going to get busted when it gets to me? This came from Eastern Europe, you know what I'm saying? I got it in like 10 days or something like that. I got it and I didn't even know what to do with it. It came so fast. So it's going to come in this, you know, protective cardboard box. I think it's FedEx or whatever. And then when you open it up, there's like this canvas kind of bag thing right here that you can actually use. You know, it kind of looks like you're carrying a big pool cue, or, you know, like 10 of them, a rapid fire pool cue, so to speak. And then, you know, you can basically store it, so roll it back up and store it, or, you know, it has a little shoulder strap on it for carrying it around, kind of like a pool cue as well. So here's the mat all pulled out from the canvas case here. And another thing I like about these canvas cases, and a lot of the mat companies have these things, but it's basically kind of like a wide mouth canoe kind of type deal, because if you had to slide it in, it wouldn't work. So they actually, you know, they're like, oh, you can just unzip it, right, and just kind of plop it in there. So as long as you get the roll basically close to this, which I feel is reasonable for any, you know, normal human being just rolling up a mat on the fly, you can pop it right back in this canvas case, throw it underneath, you know, throw a little tag or post-it or something on it, you know, just to kind of keep track of which mat's which, so you don't have to pull them all out and unzip them. But that's just my 2 cents there. Now, here's the mat all rolled out itself, and like I said, it's a pretty dope looking mat. It's got a lot of detail. You know, this would be something like straight out of like the movie Total Recall. It's definitely very Adeptus Mechanicus, but it could also, you know, kind of substitute for a lot of other things in the Grimdark, or, you know, definitely some other games that are out there as well without skipping a beat. Now, what I like about these mats is these particular ones from GameMat.eu, I can't speak to any other ones, is they have a nice like kind of like anti-glare finish. Now in here, the whole video might seem a little blue to you. It's because we use LED lights here in the studio, because let's face it, in a 13 by 10 foot room, if we didn't, with a couple of dudes in here, it would get pretty hot. So we upgraded to some LED lights last year, and that's been definitely a huge boon for us. But what it does for the mat is, there's no glare, which I super like for recording and all that stuff that we do on the Longwear and Spiky Bits. But it's going to also give it a little bit more of a blue tint in this video, which you can kind of see coming through. I can see it through the viewfinder here. So just to give you an idea, this is really a very rich orange, a very rich non-flat orange. The same with all this, all this rock and everything, very rich non kind of flat, kind of. It's flattening out here because of the blue LED lights, basically. So this stuff, it's basically the same stuff they make mouse pads out of. It's a 2 mil thick basic rubber with a high fabric print, high resolution fabric print over top of it. It's actually part of the mat. It's pretty much always flat. I mean, I just rolled it out for the very first time, and you can see there, it's been less than 5 minutes, and it's nice and flat, super good to go. No problems there. I've never creased one of these things, and I have a bunch laying underneath the table here in their perspective bags, but a lot of times, sometimes things get put on them, and I'm like, oh no, did I hurt the mat? And I'll pull off the offending item or army bag or box or whatever, and then I pull it out, and usually everything, I've never had a problem, it just rolls right out, like no big deal, like okay, good to go, right? And when you roll dice and such, that's always a thing too. So the dice sound super loud in my hand, but when they roll out, they're not bouncing around, they're just basically absorbed. The energy is absorbed. There's not a lot of noise. Super good to go there. And that was a bad roll. We're never going to roll like that again in the history of ever. Also, these pretty much, I've spilled all manner of items on these. Also had some cats hack up on them. But pretty much every time I've gotten it out. And I use this stuff called Resolve, which is great for getting out cat messes on the floor as well. Here in the States, I don't know if you can get it overseas, but, always test the spot just to make sure you're not, messing it up. But I've always been able, instead of throwing these things in the laundry, which they say to do for, magic play mats and mouse pads, I am able to spot clean them with Resolve. So I've always had a good, when I mess up and we spill beer or margaritas or, the cats get up here and do cat things, well, I've never had a problem with that either. So like I said, it's a great quality product. I've always been happy with the way these mats are made here from GameMat.eu. I have about 6 of them around here in the studio for various things. I just ordered some more today for doing Age of Sigmar, so I can't wait for those to come in, and I'll show them off for you as well.
Deleted scenes, bonus content, and all the interviews and post-game wrap-up videos can be located in the Hall of Veterans on thelongwar.net. Visit thelongwar.net today and try a week completely free with no strings attached. That's not all. TheLongWar.net is also your hobby resource for exclusive early access with an ad-free experience to all your favorite videos. Members of the Hall of Veterans gain early exclusive access to multiple hobby videos.